Started. Welcome to the show today. Happy Wednesday, everybody. This is Brian, Tarian, and Jam here from the Disability Digest, and welcome to our live event for today. Good to have you here. Today, we are going to cover 5 different items that impact or could impact your disability benefits. And that is applying for those, or would apply for those of you that are Medicare, Medicaid eligible, and increase for everybody that's out there. We're going to update you on that. We're going to talk about some ways in which you can improve your financial position if you're a disability benefit recipient. So that's what we have on tap. And before we get started, we're going to share some success stories for the week. So Jam is having some technical difficulties, so she'll be hopefully joining us again. So here's how this works. This event is being broadcast live from Charlotte, Vermont, and you could be watching it on our YouTube channel, in a Facebook group. You could be watching it in there or out on another website like Taken TV. So wherever you are, welcome. Thanks for joining. And if you're on our YouTube channel or in a Facebook group, you'd have the ability to enter a personal question that you might have. And we'll take some time at the end to address that. So that's what we have on tap. So if you're new here, welcome, and welcome back to those of you. I see a lot of familiar faces out there, including Jam, who is back in her Go Green Go
Welcome,
color
everybody.
today. Like it?
Thank you guys for joining. Yes, I am.
Yes. So let's see. Let's get started here and what we have going on. Are y'all good, Jam?
Yes,
For
I
the
am.
moment anyway? Okay. All right. The first thing I want to go through is some success stories that we have. But first of all, preface that by here at the Disability Digest, we focus on doing 3 things. You have a membership that's no charge. If you're not a member, you can learn about how to get involved and take advantage of one at the end. And we help you get your disability benefits approved fast. It's one of the key things we do. And we teach you how to do that with a disability approval course. You can do it all on your own, or you can partner with us or somebody else if it's a fit as your representative to do the work for you. So that's the getting approved part. Once you're approved, we want to help you keep your benefits, help you maximize them. We have a benefit protection program that gives you an extra layer of security when Social Security comes knocking. And then we provide, information like in these events and other information to help you maximize your benefits, right? So first things first, for what has been going on this week, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to read an email that came in from Steve. this morning. And he writes, I'm writing to thank you for your advice. Your advice was on the spot, especially your advice about how not to answer the information on the forms. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. I can't remember his name, but you interviewed someone on how to fill out our work history and daily activity sheets from SSDI. That was invaluable information. Without that, there is no way I would have been approved. That was definitely the best piece of advice I gained from your videos. I applied at the end of February, and today I received an email from Social Security that my first check will be deposited tomorrow. Thank you again for your incredible information. So Steve is an individual that used our disability approval course. He joined us when he had already applied. So we put him in a segment of our disability approval course that teaches you exactly what to do if you're applied and waiting, and he executed the information. So our goal here is to help you make your case stand out, whether you do it on your own or we do it with you, so that you're separated from all of the other 1.4 million people that are out there. And getting approved in this environment is great, but let alone getting approved in 5 months is fantastic. I have a few others that I want to share with you. Let me find them here. Let's see, this one, I copied some from our YouTube channel, and let me just see if I can pull these over here and do them any justice. This one is from 9 hours ago. Thank you so much for your videos. They helped me so much. I was approved yesterday. Took 9 months from start to approval. I did have an attorney, but I did call my congressman. I did not have an attorney, but I did call my congressman, and the congressional letter attached to my file. Thanks again, Rhonda. So here's another one approved in a few short months. Here's another one. I was approved for SSDI after 2.5 years. My benefit start date is November 2020. I've been working part-time through the entire process. My question is, when would they start the 9-month trial work period? They don't start your trial work period until you work and earn over the allowed amount, by the way. So for those of you that have joined us in process, if you're listening in a Facebook group or on YouTube, you'd have the ability to enter a question. And our most proficient and helpful, dressed in green today, Jam, will help moderate these questions, and we'll answer them at the end, right? So at the end, I'm going to also give you links to some more success stories. Oh, one of the things I want to talk a little bit about today is surveillance. I'll cover that at the end as well. People getting surveyed to watch, or while they're trying to go through and get approved, and then others while they're approved. All right. So what I have on tap next is I want to go through some of the recent adjustments in the Social Security world. And first up is there is some, I would say, pretty exciting news for people that are Social Security disability recipients and may also be Medicare eligible or Medicaid eligible, or perhaps you have tried to get Medicaid in the past and you were denied. And the reason why, and this link will be below in the replay and circulated around. This is a recent news story that covered this. So what's going on is Social Security is no longer considering the value of food in your assessment for SSI. So let's say, for example, they were looked at the resources that you are being provided, and you're being provided, say, $200 a month in food assistance. So that's being taken out of the equation. And what does that mean for you? That means that, like, if you're just on the edge and maybe you didn't qualify for Medicaid, or you're on Medicaid now and you're on, like, there's 5 different flavors of Medicaid that, the more need you have, the better the benefits are. Then with that being removed, it could allow you access to Medicaid, or it could increase your Medicaid. So just to clarify, if you're a Social Security disability recipient, which is most of the work that we do, you can also still be a Medicaid recipient. And it depends on what your check level is and what your other resources are. So as a general rule, if you have a Social Security disability check below $1,500, there's some additional assistance that you can receive. And as it gets closer down to $1,200, it goes up quite significantly. So here's the action item for this. If you've applied, didn't get in, and you were close, I'd suggest trying again. If you're already on Medicaid, I'd ask them to update your level of qualification because of this and check in. All right. So that's one that can make a big difference. Jim, we work with people and their status changes, right? And they become Medicaid eligible, and it just allows us to access really a whole bunch of different benefits. You'll get an idea in a few moments of some of the ones that I'm going to share with you. Number one, that was number one. Number two is there is a cost of living increase that is being forecasted already for 2024. And last year, disability recipients received an 8.7% increase, which was a big increase. But this year's projection is going to be much less than that. It's in the 3% range. And it's not really an increase. Yeah, your check amount goes up, but it's really allowing you to stay up with inflation. And because inflation has dropped off, the 8.7 is not going to happen again, and it's going to be closer to 3%. So that's what it's looking at now. So just kind of, the final hasn't been released. This is just speculation. Like I'm putting up here from USA Today what their projection is based on what's gone on already for the first part of the year. Okay. Let's talk about some potential new benefits and improving your position. As a disability recipient, you are Medicare eligible after you have received 24 payments. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is it's 24 months from your entitlement date that's on your award letter. So on the top of your Social Security disability award letter, it says you're entitled to benefits on this date, 24 months after that. So I know out there, recognizing some of you are already eligible and some of you are not yet. But here's my point. This is the area where I see the biggest opportunity to improve your cash flow. Cost of living increase 3%, not a big deal. We're often asked, can I get more in my check because I have more conditions, because I'm moving from Des Moines, Iowa to Peoria, Illinois. Can I get more in my check? No, no, no. So what you can do, though, is you can look at other benefits that you are eligible for. So one of the big movers is if you are paying for your Medicare Part B premium and your disability check is below $1,500, it's likely that you could get the state to pay for that, and that would save you $160 and what, 10 cents a month? I think I should know that, but it's 160 something cents. So that's a big movement. We found many people are still paying for it. They don't know about this feature. The other thing that is out there that is available is the different options and plans. And let me explain it to you this way. Every late September, early October, all of these companies release their new Medicare Advantage plans, which most disability recipients are on. And the benefits in the plan continue to improve. Reason for that, in my opinion, and others that do this work, is because the companies are becoming more profitable, the insurance companies, and they get paid to entice people to get into their plan and to keep people in their plans. So in order to do that, every year they really need to up their game, which is in your favor, right? So some of the things that we're seeing, I'm going to share with you, have become pretty common in major metropolitan markets. And I have a plan from Humana up on the screen, but these types of benefits exist with other companies. I'm just using this as an example because it's somebody that I recently worked with, right? One of the things that is coming out is healthy options allowance. So this benefit is $100 loaded on a prepaid card for the purchase of food. You can use it for food and over-the-counter items. That's $1,200 a year. So no, it's not an increase in your check amount, but looking at it from another perspective, it is a way for you to improve your cash flow, right? This is $1,200 a year. Now you can apply this to other things, over-the-counter products, and sometimes, yeah, this one says living expenses such as internet, utilities. So you can find a way to spend this, right? The other one is there is flex cards. Like this is a chronic illness flex card that was applicable to this person. It's $1,000 a year. And that's something that you could use to, like, maybe co-pays, or you had to have a dental procedure that everything wasn't covered. So these are ways in which you can improve your financial position. And for individuals that are Medicare and Medicaid eligible, you're considered dual eligible. You can review those plans and you can make a move right now because you can change 4 times a year. If your check is over $1,500 and you're not dual eligible, then you can definitely review your options, but the new plans come out in late September, early October, and you would be able to change October 15th. So why I'm putting this message out now, small COLA increase, typically there's opportunity to change, is to review your benefits. Now, when we get into September, we will update the information that we provide you to teach you how to review your benefits, like how to go in Medicare, take your existing plan, compare it to other plans, and see what's out there. We do this work as the Disability Digest for our members. We offer a free benefit review, but frankly, we're limited in how many people we can do this for, because there's 192,000 members, and we only have so many people here that are able to do that work. So if you are interested in that and you're a member, make sure I'd suggest getting your request in now, so you can get on the list to take advantage of that. All right. So that is item number 3 on the list. How are we doing with questions, Jen? We got a few more minutes and then we're going to start taking them. Are they flowing in?
Yes, they are.
Okay, great. And for those of you that may have missed my other 2 messages or just joined us, if you're participating from a Facebook group, YouTube channel, then you would have the feature to enter a question into the comment or chat, and we'll start taking those in a few minutes, and do the best we can to get through those. Okay, a few more items. The wait time at Social Security is still on average, if you got to do something on the phone, 42 minutes. So just a heads up, we put out updated information recently about this. Best to call on like Thursday or Friday when hopefully it's not as long or likely to be longer because that's the average. All right. Surveillance. A lot of people freaking out about surveillance. Does it happen? Is somebody watching me? We had Attorney James Brown gave his perspective on the surveillance environment and what's going on. That was just released on our YouTube channel. Show you the video on the screen, and you can go in and take a look at it and learn what the real deal is. I'll stick it in our in the Facebook or in the YouTube chat right now. Of course, go watch it after the show because you don't want to miss what's next. So surveillance, it is a real deal, but it's, I guess in general, just say understand it and understand the probability, severity, what to do to avoid it, and that type of stuff. Okay, now the other thing is we had at the top of our show here today, we provided some success stories, and we keep a running collection of success stories on our YouTube channel. And I don't know how many are in there now, maybe 80. But if you're looking for some inspiration, maybe you've been at this for a while, you want to pick up a few tips, you can come on in and listen to Casey and Christine and David and the others. And that link will go into the YouTube chat right now as well. Okay, Jam, you ready to get started?
Yes. First one from Aris. How are you doing? First of all, I'd like to apologize. Last week, I stated that it took 53 weeks for me to receive my benefits. Once I checked the calendar, it was 61 weeks.
Oh, wow. 53 would have been better.
Right. Okay. And sorry, I'm not able to scroll right now. Having some issues. Here's one. Is that correct? This is from Philip's Facebook page. Is that correct that you can have only $2,000 in the bank? What about your burial money I saved up over the years?
Good question. If you're applying for Social Security disability and you don't qualify for Medicare, Medicaid, then for Social Security disability, there is not an asset that would impact your ability to apply and get approved. Where this question perhaps came from is if somebody is applying for Social Security disability and SSI, which is Social Insurance Medicaid, there's a resource component to it. And that is correct that there is a cash limit. It's slightly different in all states, but that's pretty much spot on.
Right. Here's one from Jessica. I was just up for a review and got denied. Now I'm appealing and I'm still disabled. I'm stressed out about the outcome.
Yeah, getting a lot of that going on. Well, how we can help you at the Disability Digest is one, we have a how to prepare and survive your disability review, which you're right in the middle of it. And if you do need it, then you can request an interview with somebody who does the legal work for this. And if you wanted to hire them, you could. Now, just a side note and a commercial for those of you that are out there. If you are a member of the Disability Digest and you are working with us and we're managing your Medicare as like your licensed insurance agent, you qualify for our benefit protection program. And that allows you, what we do is we help you from the very beginning to how to prepare for your review long before you get it. And then when you get it, we'll help you get through it. And if you get denied, then we'll even help represent you in court. And there's no charge for this. It's because you're a client of ours and we're managing your insurance and we want to keep your disability benefits going so that you can keep your Medicare, and we get paid by insurance companies to do it, full disclosure. So like to think everybody wins. So if you're concerned about it, or you just want that extra layer of protection, or you want to find out what benefits are available for you, put your name on the list as we start rolling into the busy season for Medicare.
Right. Open enrollment starts in October 15, right?
That's right. I'm looking forward to this year. I usually kind of dread it, but you know, it's mixes it up.
Yeah, me too. All right, here's a question from Fasil. Good morning. I have questions. I am approved for disability and can I work part-time? So
Sure.
that would be a yes.
Yeah, you can. This year, you can, 2023, you can work and earn up to $1,050 a month. Now, if you're doing it as like an independent contractor or like running your own business, then that would be net after expenses. There's an actual regulation. If you're a member, just email us. If you were invited to this event by email, you can just reply to that or join us as a member and ask for it. We'll get you the regulations so you can actually look at it.
All right, here's a question. I know everyone is interested. Are we getting COLA increase?
Oh, Cole, I just covered that like 4 minutes ago. The answer is yes.
All
It's
right.
looking at around 3%.
All right. With the help of Disability Digest, I was blessed to be approved last year in 47 days from start to finish. Wow.
Love it.
Good for you. That's rocket shoes.
Yeah, 47 days. That's lightning quick.
All right. Here's one from Lee. Approved in April 2023 for onset date in July 18. Waiting for 110 days as of today for an award letter. Called and they keep saying it's in progress.
Yeah, okay, so 110. Yeah, I mean, if it's beyond 60 days, which is what they forecast, and you are, then that's getting into the unreasonable amount. It's a delicate situation because it could be with the decision writer. Let me explain how this works. You go to a hearing, judge hears your case, judge comes back and he makes his decision and he provides a bunch of information to the decision writer, and then they write up the decision. And if you put some heat on them now, you could force the decision writer. I don't, you know, it's a tough one whether you want to really just let it organically develop and hold out. I'm sure you want your check and your back check and your money and you deserve it. So just something to consider.
Right. If you're a private insurance disability, are you eligible for Medicare after 24 consecutive months?
Not because you are a private insurance recipient. You would need to be a Social Security disability recipient. It's the connection between Social Security disability and Medicare.
Right. All right. The last time I checked out my credits and my amount of benefits up to the date I checked, it said you have full credits and was eligible for $2,248. If I apply to that date, is this trustworthy?
Yeah.
I think he means the amount. Okay.
Yep, it is. I would, there's, you know, I would be conscious that just had somebody this morning that was, oh my God, she was so upset. Her benefits expired. These benefits expire after 5 years, like that 2,000 and something dollar check. If you don't take any action or work, then it goes away. So just be aware of that. 410 viewers out there. Thank you all for joining today.
Yes, and I'm an SSDI recipient. What conditions would someone have to fall under being surveyed from the SSA?
Boy, that's a good
surveilled.
question.
Mhm.
Survey.
Yeah.
I don't know of it being condition driven. But it could be. I'll come back to that. It's more behavior from the Attorney Brown piece that's there. People are like climbing ladders, doing things on vacation and posting them on their Facebook page. You're drawing attention to it. The exception to that would be is there are conditions where you could be that could improve, like there's stroke victims that have recovery enough to to be back and back to work. So I hope that helps.
Right. Okay. What is the difference in Medicaid and medical assistance?
I'm not sure. Medicaid and medical, I don't know what medical assistance is. I know what Medicaid is.
Right.
It's, but I don't know the medical assistance piece. If you could provide some more information or rephrase the question, we can take another look at it.
Okay. I was approved for SSI and SSDI on June 30th in Georgia. How can I get affordable housing for myself?
Housing's tough. First place that I suggest that you go is to contact your local center for independent living. We provide directions. We've covered them recently in our YouTube live channel here. And connect with a housing counselor. As a matter of fact, that event was, if you look back on our YouTube channel on the live events, it might have been, I'll see if I can grab the link for you. But that would definitely be the first stop. And the reason why I say the live event would be helpful is we covered how to craft your housing letter. Okay, I found it. I'm going to put this in the, was that a YouTube question?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm putting a link in the YouTube chat, which is a link to a prior live event that we did. Start there, and that will be your help you get your plan together, get your plan to a housing counselor.
Okay. All right. Are there any benefits for my premium for people receiving $2,500? Brian?
So this is an individual that is receiving $2,500 a month and is asking if there's any benefits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know without looking. It could be. It's difficult to say. One thing could be applicable is let's say that you're in a situation or in an area where there's a Part B buyback, which instead of paying the $160.10 for your Medicare Part B premium, that is reduced. Like a lot of them are reducing it. I say a lot of them, companies are reducing it by $100. So that saves you $1,200 a year in Part B premiums. I mean, that's possible, but without knowing your zip code, what your treatment needs are, your doctor network, the current plan, all the variables involved in doing a benefit analysis, it's difficult to comment or be accurate.
Greetings. I currently receive SSDI benefits. This is Jim Shore. I am also enrolled in Medicare. I've noticed that my SSDI benefit is being reduced by the amount of my Medicare Part B premium, approximately $165. Why?
Mm-hmm. So Medicare Part A, there's no charge for. Medicare Part B is you are responsible for paying for it. And you can reduce it by the method that I just shared with you. Or there are, if your disability check is below $1,500, you could have it eliminated by requesting to the extra help program, and your state would pay for it. So it's a standard charge. Everybody is subject to it. One thing that you want to be cautious of is opting out of Part B and not having other credible insurance. So on our YouTube channel just this week, is somebody had said, you know, I go to the VA and I found out that the VA is considered Veterans Administration, for those of you that don't know. That the Veterans Administration is considered credible coverage and I don't need my Medicare Part B and I have discontinued it. That's actually not true. The Veterans Administration is credible coverage for just a drug plan, but not for Part A and B. So if you make a decision like that, if and when you need to get back on Part B, you pay a penalty and it's pretty hefty. So just make sure you make the right decision there, right?
Right. And additionally, if you have Medicare Part B, you cancel it, you won't be able to get it back until January of the following year, right?
It's a good question. I forget when you can get back in that. I don't know if you can get, maybe you can get back in during open enrollment. Yeah, because if you get in during open enrollment, then you would start in January. Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right. Okay. Hello, I can't seem to join your program. I clicked on the link before and entered my info, but I got no response. Okay.
Well, I would say that you can send an email to support@the Disability Digest from the email address that you created your membership with, and we will validate it to find out if you're either in or out.
Right. Okay. Is it possible to be dual eligible and receive more than $1,500 a month from SSD?
No, not that I know of. Yeah.
Well, we encountered one member, if I don't know if you can recall, Brian, right? He was in, okay.
Yeah, so I guess I'd have to retract my statement that it is possible. It is, yeah. What could happen is it's a temporary thing until they evaluate you again. It's possible, but yeah.
Right. How I know someone got SSDI and get TennCare Medicaid?
I don't understand the question.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Here's another one. Can you find out the conditions you're approved for SSD? I have so many conditions, mental and physical.
Yeah. The only way that I know that you can do that is if you go to a hearing in front of a judge and they issue you a decision letter, and that decision letter will spell out everything. If you get approved at the initial level or the reconsideration level, they don't provide that detail.
All right. Hello, I have already had a CDR and kept my benefits. Since then, my wife died of pancreatitis. Sorry, that sounds cancer. So I am now able to get widowed benefits and I am 63. So do I have much to worry about?
Well, it's a pretty general question. And because I'm an optimist, I'm going to go with no, with the caveat of saying that if you follow here or somewhere else and understand what you need to do to be in compliance to keep your disability benefits, then you should be fine. And if you're not, let's say you're not, then you stand a good chance to get them reinstated. It's those that do things like earn too much money or their condition improves, but they don't report it, that run into challenges.
All right. Hello, I just got approved on July 24th. This is
Yes.
Maureen Watts, but I was a little disappointed because SSA said I was able to do other jobs prior to them approving my onset date. How do I not get a back pay 12 months?
Right, right. Yeah, it's a tough one. And um you can you can dispute this, but it comes with a risk that Social Security could just totally turn your benefits off. This has happened, and I'm trying to think if we've covered this. I don't know if we've covered this in any other videos.
We
But
have on a live event.
on a live event we have, okay. So that's the risk that you run. If you're working with an attorney, then I would have them evaluate it and really what the probability is. If there is like a real glaring event that was, you can go back like a hospitalization or something like that, that you can put a lock on, then it's helpful to do. The key here for all of you that are trying to get approved is to understand the importance of when your condition caused you to stop working, or conditions, and being able to support that with medical evidence. And that's considered your onset date. Many that do this on their own and take an uneducated guess or don't pay attention to the information that we give them will put a date other than what it should be. They might put down when they applied, or and that could cost them 6 months of benefits, 10 months of benefits, right? So that's 10 times 1,500, 15,000. I mean, it's a lot of money. So just make sure you do it right.
Here's one that I'm interested about. It took me 6 months before I qualified, no court or doctor visits.
That's a good one. So am I understanding that was approved with no doctor's visits?
Right.
Wow. I wonder what the condition was. I mean, some conditions don't require, they're permanent, right? There's no improvement. So
Mm.
that would make sense. I'm just curious what it is.
But no doctor visits?
Might not require it, right? I mean, okay, let's say you're legally blind. And you can go to the doctors, but there's nothing that you can do. Right.
Right. All right. I'm waiting on SSDI for extra cash. Can I donate at the CL Plasma?
Yes, you can, but that income is going to be, that's going to be considered income. So just understand how that will impact you.
Right. Been on SSDI since 2014, both mental and physical. I won it on my own after first denial using the Blue Book and codes online. I have only had one CDR in 2020. I'm 63 in September. Should I expect CDR?
The $1 million question. The probability is low, but it's not zero.
Right. Oh, here's a follow-up about Medicaid and medical earlier. So
Okay,
Medicaid and medical assistance is the same thing.
all right. So ask me the question again.
Okay, give me 1 second. Gotta scroll up.
Because I thought the question was about the difference, but if there's the same thing, then what's the difference?
Yeah, that was the question.
Okay. Not clear to me how to answer it. If you're referring to the same thing and then asking what the difference is.
Okay. What do you think my odds are of being approved for SSDI? I have been out of work for lumbar stenosis for approximately 4 months, and during all the MRI and CAT scans, I was diagnosed with severe emphysema.
Well, I don't know, and it's difficult to know based on the limited information because It's not the conditions that you have that are going to help me or Social Security understand if you qualify. There's other variables involved there, right, Jim?
Yeah.
Like even what you did for work, do you need to prove that you cannot do any job in the United States because you've had inconsistent work history, or you're under 40, or maybe you've been a
Mhm.
truck driver for 17 years and spinal stenosis doesn't allow you to sit for more than 20 minutes, then that's a whole different situation. So
Yeah, and
it's
your
it's it's
education as well.
education is another one. Yeah. Yep. So it's your diagnosis, your treatment, your work history, the limitations that you have. Those are some of the discussion points that one needs to go through to evaluate your probability. So here at the Disability Digest, you can join us, register, you get access to our disability approval course. You can request to speak to an advocate. It's all at no charge. They'll give you an evaluation, help you understand, once they learn more about what your probability is.
Do you think they're going to overhaul the Social Security and pay better benefits for everybody across the board? Because it hasn't been done since the Regans.
Well, the optimist in me would like to say yes, but the hard facts are I've been doing this is year 17, and the way the political environment is and the budget, it's a hard no for me. I don't see any changes that are going to be significant.
I got nothing but the runaround with housing groups in Florida, homeless coalition, housing, counselors, etc., and any other help is non-existent in Southwest Florida.
Mhm. Yeah.
From A1.
Another idea for housing is look for home share options. Those have worked for people. There's we profile Home Share Vermont because I am a Vermonter, and it's a great organization. But this would be an opportunity for you to live in a house. And if you can barter and do something to keep your rent costs down, that's an option usually in those environments. So I don't know if your certain area has a successful organization or not, but if you just start a search on home share or ask your local center for independent living about that. Yeah.
All right. 62 waiting for AGH for SSDI, currently receiving regular Social Security retirement benefits. What are my chances of getting approved for SSDI?
Ooh, another one. Don't know. I'm gonna echo the prior one. One thing
Right.
I will add is on this one though, is if you're collecting your Social Security early retirement, let's call that $1,200 a month, let's say. When you get your disability approved, it will increase to around $1,600 a month. So that'll be good. But if you don't get your disability benefits approved, then you are stuck with your $1,200 check. So it's the risk reward for those of you taking your SSA early to do that. And I mean, you also have to factor the monthly difference, but every year you get that COLA. So if you're getting a 3% increase on 1,200, that's different than a 3% increase on 1,600.
All right, here's one. I am covered by my husband's insurance. Do I have to get Medicare? I was approved for SSD and I am 52 years old. I have cancer.
Right, so you can definitely stay on your spouse's insurance. That would be credible coverage based on what I'm understanding. It would also be good to evaluate your needs, and if your coverage is good, great. But if your coverage has some holes in it, maybe you're not covered for dental or other things, then you could look at getting Medicare Part B and an Advantage plan for the extra benefits that are available.
Hello?
I'm here.
Oh, sorry, it's my internet. Okay.
595 of you out there on YouTube. Thank you and welcome. Facebook groups and other channels. Thank you for participating.
Mhm. All right. What's the difference between Part A and Part B? This one I think I can answer.
Yes.
Okay. So Part A allows you to go to hospital and emergency rooms. So it's an inpatient coverage. Part B is for doctor visits, primary care doctors, specialists, outpatient visit.
Yeah. Excellent.
Okay. I've been told it's an income minimum to qualify for low income 3 times monthly rent, which is more than SSDI received every month.
I'm
I
not
think
sure
this is
where to
it.
go with that one, Jam.
Uh, okay. Previous statement, I got nothing but the runaround with housing groups. That was his.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just encourage you, there is no easy solution. It requires you to be polite, persistent. You just got to stay on it. It's just, there's high demand, low inventory.
All right. Ohio has a program called Specialized Recovery Program Dual Eligible.
Good.
Yeah.
Are
Okay.
these all YouTube channel questions, Jam, or are they coming from other groups?
Yeah, YouTube, and the first one was from Facebook.
Okay.
Uh, can you get SSDI if you also get private disability?
What was the second part? If you get what?
Private.
Yeah, sure. Many of the private insurance policies that you have in the language that it's a requirement to apply for Social Security disability.
Okay. Question, what determines how much you get for disability? I know several people that I know several people that all draw the same amount, kind of like a standard, but I draw a significant amount more and was curious.
Timely question. Tomorrow, there will be the full meal deal will be released in a video that explains how the check amount is calculated. But for an explanation in this event, it is driven by the amount of money that you make and taxes that you pay. So if you were a $50,000 income earner for the last 10 years, your check amount's going to be different than somebody who was a $70,000 income earner over the last 10 years. Yeah, up to the maximum of $3,600 and something is the maximum amount.
Okay. For example, if somebody's check is $1,657 and they are paying for Medicare, which is $164.90 a month, does that mean that there is eligibility for Medicare to be eliminated?
Well, they might be mentioning Medicare Part B, and if they're at, what did they say, 1,600 a month?
Yeah, 1,657.
You can always apply to the extra help program, but my experience has been to get into it, you need to be under 1,500. But there's no charge to apply. We have the documents in the process here, but The program is called Extra Help, Medicare Extra Help.
Okay. 59 on SSDI. When can I get Medicare?
Well, you would be Medicare eligible 24 months from when you were approved for Social Security disability, from your entitlement date.
Right. In January, my SSDI increased to $1,600 monthly, which with 8% COLA, I had been dual eligible since 2019. The New York State of Health program changed their rules post-COVID, and I will soon lose Medicaid.
Right, that's happened to a lot of people. I'll
Right.
just feed this back, is that there's an income threshold that big COLA last year pushed a lot of people that were right on the edge over. So they received an 8.7% increase, but they lost access to Medicaid. So that's a tough one.
Right. In Texas and in the reconsideration stage, still waiting. How much longer do you see me waiting? Yes, I have a representative.
You are blessed to be in the state that has one of the longest wait times. So I don't know. At the reconsider, I know the initial decision is around 233 days. And different areas of Texas are experiencing longer delays, like Austin is a mess. So here's what I say. I tell people to expect it to be the same amount of time as it was for their initial decision. And if it ends up being less, great. That's the best they can do. There is no way to predict. They don't forecast it.
Okay, I am a double transmetatarsal amputee and had years of doctor visits and wound care appointments before and after amputations.
Okay.
Kept trying to work for about 10 years and it just kept getting worse.
Okay.
Statement.
Is this the same individual that by chance said they were approved without doctor's appointments, or because if you're like, there's no doctor treatment that is going to help an amputee. So that's an example similar to somebody being blind.
Yeah, I'm scrolling up to verify that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a nice to have piece of information. Mhm. Thanks again, everybody, for
Yeah,
joining. It is
it
okay.
was. Yeah, it is.
All right, so let's just recap that one. That comment was from the individual that got approved without going and doctoring. And that's because there's really isn't anything a doctor can do for that condition. So good one. Okay.
Right. Follow-up question from the same viewer. What determines how much you can get for disability? I know several people. Oh, sorry. We already covered this one. Okay. If 100% disabled veteran is on SSDI and they use the VA for their primary health care, are they required to enroll in Part A or Part B?
Yes.
And we do. You
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. We discussed that a little earlier in the program.
Right. On SSI, have been for 20 years, trying to go back to school to attempt to work again. And going back, when I lose SSI, I also lose Medicaid. How do people deal with keeping pre-existing medical conditions?
What was the end? How do people feel about what?
Deal with pre-existing medical conditions.
Oh, well, I would have to defer that to our audience because I don't have any conditions that are anywhere near the severity. I will speak to it this way, though. I mean, we talked about this the other week. Is one thing that I have learned from others is to be realistic with yourself and what your energy level is and what you can do, and not draw a parallel with what you used to be able to do and get caught up in the fact that you can no longer do it, if that makes sense. So maybe you only have an hour or two a day that are good now. You used to have 10, right? Well,
Right.
you gotta go with that.
Okay, here's a statement from A1. Home share, no luck. When I say I'm disabled, they say no due
Mm,
to homeowners insurance liability,
interesting.
right?
Yeah. All right. One other thing that I've known that has worked is to do a search on your own. So skip the home share, but use the concept, and place an ad, say, looking for, and this goes back to your housing list that you've created. Looking to live in this area for a 1 bedroom on the first floor, willing to do this in exchange for it. To just take it upon yourself to do that. I've known that to work for people.
Right. Can you still get Medicaid without SSI?
Can you still get Medicaid without SSI? So I'm thinking this through. You can get Medicaid just as an insurance coverage, like, but not qualify for cash payments. If that answers the question, hopefully it does. But you can also get Medicaid for the insurance and cash, monthly cash payments. This is a way that has helped some people survive through the approval process. They get a little bit of cash, like I think it's $8.94 a month is the most, and then their Medicaid. All right, Jam, let's take 2 more questions and then we'll wrap it up for the day.
Okay. Okay. Can you get SSDI and SSI benefits? And if so, for how long does one cancel each other out?
Yes, you can. And canceling each other out would only mean that your Medicaid would go away because your income from SSDI and other resources brings you over the allowed amount.
Okay. One last, because I have seen same kind of questions from numerous viewers. What age do you switch from SSDI to Social Security retirement?
That would be at your full retirement age, which is slightly different for people that are out there. It'll just be an automatic change. You don't need to do anything. And just note that when you do make that change, you're no longer subject to the disability reviews. And you are no longer subject to the earnings limitations. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right, we're going to wrap for the day. Listen, I want to thank everybody. There's 690 people out on our YouTube channel, not including Facebook and other resources that are out there. So you could be doing a lot of other different things with your time today. So coming out here and spending time with us, it's our privilege to share this information with you. So I hope you found some value in it, and I hope that you apply it. Learning it is one thing, putting it into action is another, so that you can make your situation stand out, regardless if you're trying to get approved or already approved, so that you can get everything that you are entitled to. Jam, as
Right.
always.